I was an outdoor kid. I really loved being in the outdoors, be it, just climbing a tree or just traveling or just being out there. I used to feel very happy. I had never seen snake in the wild. That was my first interaction ever with a wild snake, and I immediately picked it up, and it started crawling on my hand, like legit. It started crawling. It was about 2 feet long, and the moment it came close to my face, I freaked out and I had to put it down. One thing that really got it stuck with me is, what a 10 years of schooling didn't do. One Himalayan trek did that to me.
My God.
And I'm like, okay, this is something like, how do I explain it? It meant a
Yeah.
lot.
Hello, guys. Welcome to another interesting episode of Inside the Job with Shreyas. Hegde. Today we have Spoorthi Shetty with us. Spoorthi is a trek leader at India Hikes. She leads teams on high altitude treks in the Himalayan region. So, in this episode, Spoorthi has shared insights about her job and also so many stories and experiences that has made the podcast very, very interesting. I'm sure you'll enjoy the show. Welcome to the show, Spoorthi.
Thank you. Thank you, Shreyas.
Spoorthi, can you explain to our viewers what exactly you do?
So basically, I am a trek leader with India Hikes. So we actually take people on trek in the Himalayas. So high altitude meaning 8,000 feet and above. So we take people on treks, be it 4 days, 6 days, 8 days. And when we take them on trek, the job of a trek leader is to take care of their overall aspect, be it the safety, be it the experiences that we facilitate, and overall how they spend time in those 4 days. It's completely dependent on a trek leader, and this is exactly what I do, Shreyas.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you say you have to take care of all the things, like what exactly you do for for safety and what preparations you do when you go for trek of such great heights?
Yeah, so basically, when it comes to high altitude trekking, right, it's not as simple as, just walking in those terrains and just coming back. When it comes to high altitude, there are a lot of things that are involved. One is something called as, high altitude mountain sickness, acute mountain sickness, we call it. So when we go 8,000 feet and above, the air gets thinner as we go higher and higher. So a lot of people will have a lot of issues with breathing and how their body adapts to the whole, that kind of environment. It changes. So when people come on those treks, at least, like what I've seen in my experiences, people take need some time to get acclimatized to that particular environment. And sometimes when that thing doesn't happen, it actually shows in their health. Like a lot of people will have AMS, that's something I told you, acute mountain sickness, and we need to take care of it then and there itself. Let's say if we don't take care of it, then it becomes more complicated. It might lead to even more aggravated things like hip and haze, where it might be deadly if you don't take care of it. So that comes in a lot of safety aspect. So trek leader does that. So every day our job is to check their BP, monitor their oximeter level, yeah, oxygen saturation level and all those things. So which is a part of my job where I need to take care of the safety. One is that aspect. The other thing is, of course, when we are in the outdoor, there are a lot of other things that can happen. Ankle twist, if somebody falls down, it could lead to some other complications. So our job is to take care of their health. So we will be carrying our medical kit, oxygen cylinder also with us. So if in case somebody needs oxygen at that point in time, then we can administer it,
Okay.
immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these are the things that's what safety aspect mean. Yeah.
So it's not just about showing them the place. It's much more than that. You have to take care of
Yes.
their health. You have to take care of their
Yes.
safety. You have to be ready for all the uncertainties.
Yes.
It's much
Absolutely.
more.
Yeah, and also if the weather goes bad, what would you do if it's continuously snowing for the 4 days, or if it's continuously raining? That's again, that's where the trek leader comes into play, like what do we do with them? Because we can't trek, we have to somehow engage them for the next 4 days and do something meaningful so that they can take back. And all these things is what I do.
So what are the major challenges you face in your day-to-day life as a trek leader?
As a trek leader, main challenge is, sometimes people. I consider myself as an extrovert, so I consider myself to be a little good with people, but sometimes we get people from all across the country, like different type, different age group, and everything. Sometimes things get a little difficult in managing diverse age group. That is one thing. And the second thing is, of course, this is one of my personal challenge, that is being away from home and all your comforts and all your social circle. Sometimes it gets into you, but that's not a major thing. Yeah, so these are some of the challenges. And like I said, the weather also, because you can't predict how things are going to be. It can rain, it can snow, and it's not just bearing the weather for yourself, but also you need to motivate those 25 people who come along with you to do the trek in such,
Exactly.
drastic weather conditions. So sometimes it gets challenging. Yeah. So these are the things. But
Yeah.
it's fun. It's fun to do, deal with these things.
Exactly. So I remember my trekking experience few
Yeah.
years back. So if you have a team of 10 people, there will be always two people who will be lagging behind, and
Yeah.
you have to drag them. They'll
Yeah.
tell you, I can't do it anymore. So all these
Yeah.
issues will be there.
But what we do is, just to avoid this instance, we ask our trekkers to prepare well in advance. So right when they register for a trek, let's say if they have registered 2-3 months before, so for them, for the registration to be complete, so we ask them to provide their fitness screenshot, be it the runs, be it anything, any physical activities they do, they should send us a screenshot. That's only when their registration process will be complete. That's when they can come on a trek. So just to avoid these things, we want people to come, more fitter for a trek, because it's high altitude trek.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, these are the things we
So
ask them to do.
yeah. So Spurti, so right after your graduation, you have done many different kind of stuff, like
Yeah.
you've traveled entire Karnataka, and then you took a break, and then you started hiking as a trek leader. So how has the journey been so far? So how did you do that transition, and how did you find your passion for this?
Yeah, so from very young age, as far as I can remember, I was an outdoor kid. I really loved being in the outdoors, be it, just climbing a tree or just traveling or just being out there. I used to feel very happy. And, like when I was a kid, we used to travel to Western Ghats as a family together. And every time I used to come back from that trip, I remember asking my dad, like, why can't we just build a house and stay here forever? Like any other parent, my dad used to just back me and get me back. But that's how my love for, travel and outdoors, it began. But things actually changed when I went on my first trek. That was, I think I was 16 years old, and it was in this place called Agumbe. So I was studying back then, and during my sem break, I had an opportunity to go there. And I was, with walking with this local person inside the rainforest. Agumbe is famous for two main things. One is it receives the highest rainfall in the south. It's called Chirapunji of the South. And the other thing is famous for the snakes. So you just walk 100 meters, and for sure you will find one snake. So when I was walking in that rainforest, in that dense rainforest, I noticed something moving in the bush. And I observed it for a while, and then I noticed there was a snake. And then I asked this person, what happens if the snake bite me? And he said nothing much, it'll hardly swell, that's the max that could happen. And I remember I just immediately picked it up. I had never seen snake in the wild. That was my first interaction ever with a wild snake, and I immediately picked it up. And it started crawling on my hand, like legit. It started crawling. It was about 2 feet long, and the moment it came close to my face, I freaked out and I had to put it down. And I did this 2, 3 times, and I'll tell you, Shreya, some magic happened that day. I really fell in love with snakes and reptiles in general. There's something that happened,
So what
and
I
that kind
heard
of,
was the snakes are very
yeah.
perceptive about who you are, like how your biochemistry is and what kind of a person you are, how calm you are. They can sense it. Is that true?
I don't know about that part, but what I have seen in my experience of handling snakes is it really depends how calm you are. Like they can sense the vibrations. They're very sensitive to vibrations, and the way you pick it up from wherever the snake was, that really matters a lot. If and how you handle it, of course. I wouldn't recommend anybody to handle a snake because I know which snake is venomous and which is non-venomous. It took me so many years to, identify them and all those things. But I wouldn't recommend this to anybody. But this was the interaction that I had, and it was a very magical thing. I fell in love with them. And after that, when I was in college, like my main interest was herpetology. That's the study of reptiles and amphibians. And I got many opportunities to volunteer and do some internship with Indian Institute of Science, NCBS, and all those things. And after I completed my studies, I had an amazing opportunity to work on human snake conflict mitigation project. In Kannada, we call it Havu Mattu Navu. So this project, I worked on this for almost 2 years. So as a part of this project, we used to educate people. It was an outreach project. So we had applied for grant from UK, and this was all during the COVID time. We got some 5,000 pounds, and as a part of this project, I had an opportunity to travel across Karnataka, and we used to do this outreach program where we used to teach people how to coexist with snakes.
Okay.
Snakebite being one of the highest human animal conflict, like 60,000 people die every year in our country. And our country is known as snakebite capital of the world. And we used to educate them what are the right things to do, which are approved by World Health Organization. And it was really very, I don't know, adventurous project, I would say. Apart from educating people and teaching them how to deal with snakes, I had an opportunity to travel, meet some amazing people, from tribals to the head of forest department, APCCF. Like it was a mad journey. And after that project got over, I tried my hands on day trading. That's when
Okay.
we had the session together. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I couldn't do that for too long because that was not my, like, deep down I knew that is not my field, but I enjoyed doing that for 6 months. It was like a bridge for me to you know come out of that project and be in the outdoors. And after that project, like, I was internally not that happy because, as I told you, like, I really like being in the outdoors and that's my element. And when I tried doing something indoors, deep down I knew, like, I was not happy with what I was doing, although I was getting money and all, but I was not that happy. And that's how I did my mountaineering course, basic mountaineering course, and after that, I'd applied for India Highs to be a trek leader, and I got rejected first attempt because I had never trekked in the Himalayas. The only
Right.
exposure I had was through the mountaineering course, and they wanted something who had experience in trekking and all. Although they liked whatever I did with Havu Matunavu, the exposure with kids and all those things, but they wanted something with the experience. And they told, you have to do 1 or 2 treks with us and then apply back.
Okay.
I was like, who's going to do trek and all? Now I'm done. I don't think this is going to happen. India gates are closed, I thought. But then I started working on myself. I didn't do any treks, but I used to do a lot of course, and um, I did a lot of work
Mhm.
on
On
myself.
your
And Yeah, you were part of that journey of mine.
To
Yeah,
give our viewers a perspective, we were talking, we were friends from like 4 to 5 years, and
yeah.
Spoorthi and we were discussing about her career issues, and so that's how like I can tell I helped her a little bit.
Yeah, he actually helped me a lot. He was a wonderful coach, and spending those 2 months, knowing about myself, it gave me a lot of clarity. It gave me that clarity of what I really need to work on. And in that journey, miraculously, you will not believe it. So this India X interview, it happened around on Feb or something. March, April, May, I was working on myself. I was doing a lot of courses, and I was meditating regularly. My spiritual practices were on, like, I was working on that consistency. And June, all of a sudden, I get a mail from India Hikes. And usually I don't see my mobile in the morning, but that particular day, I don't know what happened. As soon as I woke up, I felt like looking at my mobile. And I saw this India Hikes mail, and I was curious, like, what? After 4 months, I got an email, and I checked, and they had sent an email for an internship. So they wanted somebody Bangalore based to be a part of that internship, and I immediately applied. Within 2 minutes, I applied, and my interview happened the next day. And I was in Bangalore office. What, within 1 week, I was doing that internship. And it was a 20-day internship, trekking, taking kids on a trek. Of course, there were other trek leaders and all. We were just assisting them because there were a lot of kids. And those were my best days when I had to compare those 6 months and those 20 days. I was very happy trekking, being in the outdoors, showing them animals around, showing them snakes and everything. It was very nice. And I really loved the work culture. And I just asked them, can I be a trek leader? Can I apply to be a trek leader? And they said, okay, fine. So that's how my trek leading journey it started. And within 1 month, I was in the Himalayas. So we had a training, and yeah, that's how now it's still continuing. Yeah.
Great. At least it gave you some clarity that period of when you were working on yourself, that that you wanted to be in the outdoors more than and
Yeah,
not be in the indoors. So
yeah, that clarity I have.
yeah. So how has your journey been since after you got into India hikes, and how it went after that? How did you grow with that?
So when we join as a trek leader, first 3 months we will be ATLs, meaning assistant trek leaders. So we will have to undergo few training with regard to safety, how to facilitate experiences, and how to take care of people in general. And after that, you become a trek leader. So meanwhile, you will be assisting few trek leaders. You will be shadowing them. You will see how they handle situations, how they handle things and everything, and then you get your own teams. And it's been really a very satisfying journey so far, because as a person I've grown. It's not just as a trek leader, because it's a multi-dimensional thing. It's not just one skill that a tech leader should have. You should be a really good communicator. You should be empathetic. You should feel your trekkers, because I have done treks many times, but not my trekkers. They all come for the first time, and how to talk to them, how to handle different situations. It's a different thing. It's like one of our founders. They say it's like doing an MBA. Being a trek leader is like doing an MBA. It's nothing shorter than that. You learn so much management skill, and of course, the satisfaction of being in the outdoors, being in those landscape, one of the best landscapes of the world. Day in day out you're there, those mountains, those rivers, meadows, and it's a very satisfying thing for me. Yeah, not just for me. Like, when I see my trekkers go back happy, taking back something from the outdoors. They just, when they register for a trek, it's their intention to just finish the trek and come back. But after completing the trek, it's not just that. They go back taking so many things, and you can clearly see that difference, how they've come and how they're going. That's a very nice feeling.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you've had in these years. I'm sure you've had so many experiences, so many good things or good memories to think about, to remember. So I want you to tell one of those memories, which is the most cherishable, which is most beautiful, which makes you feel like, okay, yes, this is it, and I need to continue for long with this.
Yeah, one of that one incident I'd like to recollect is I like trekking with kids, teenagers, the kids. That's one of my main interests. We do experiential learning programs where kids they come on a trek. It's a 10-day thing. So from airport to airport, India has take care of everything. So when they come to the slope just before we start the trek, that's when the trek leader is responsible. Like we take care of the whole thing right from the time they reach to the base camp. And the age group of kids is the age group that I led was 12 to 16. So they're all teenagers, and they're all away from their parents, only them. And there was this one kid. I remember the moment he came, he was not that active. He was like, of course, kids when they come to new environment, they're all like, oh, what's happening around, and that too so many thousands of kilometers away from their home. And this kid was lost, like he was not talking. He was even hesitant to tell his name when we had the introduction session. That shy he was. And at night after dinner, when they were supposed to pack their bags to leave for a trek, this kid was crying. I think he was around 13 years. He started crying. He started feeling homesick. He's like, no, no, I don't want to do the trek. Please send me back. I really don't want to do this. And we consoled him. We told, there's so many other kids. The trek has not even begun. Once it starts, you will start enjoying. We did all those things. We, gave him that moral support and everything. And finally, he somehow slept. And next day, he was little better. I wouldn't say like completely fine. But as the days progressed, this kid started loving the trek to an extent where I never saw him sad at all. He was always in the front. He was always enthusiastic, carrying his own backpack. Nature does that magic. The outdoors do that. And especially the experiences that we do on the trek with the kids and all, it kind of brings in that transformation where the whole program is designed. We want them to be more independent. Nobody would give them a wake up call. They have to wake up at that point in time. Nobody will help them to pack their bags. They'll have to pack their own bags. Whatever it is, they have to learn to deal with their own self. So these things, it's a 6 days program when they are on trek. And yeah, so by the end of sixth day, this kid was so happy. And after we complete every trek, we do this debriefing thing where we ask them what they have learned, what they are taking back from the trek. And you will not believe me, Shreyas, I still have the video of that kid. That kid spoke for 10 minutes.
Oh my God.
10 minutes of what that trek
The shy
meant
kid.
for that kid. He came back. He came as underconfident and wanting to go back and everything. But by the end of those 6 days, he was in love with the outdoors. And it was not just that kid, but many kids who come and do a trek, more or less they all go through some sort of transformation because they're still in that budding stage, and experiences like this enriches them. And that's exactly what I'm really interested in, the experiential learning program with kids. And this kid, he said one line, one thing that really got it stuck with me is, what a 10 years of schooling didn't do, one Himalayan trek did that to me.
My God.
And I'm like, okay, this is something like, how do I explain it? It
So
meant a
yeah,
lot to me.
that's when you feel like, okay, this is it.
Yeah,
This is important.
yeah,
Apart from everything.
yeah. At that point, I didn't feel like I wanted anything. I was like, okay, I'm done now. Because I'm so happy that I was able to facilitate that experience. Of course, a lot of effort that has gone into making such experiences, building such experiences, but just to be a part of that kid's journey, it was very satisfying. That's one of my favorite stories, actually.
Amazing story.
Yeah.
So this is what we are bringing through this channel. The passion, why is the passion towards your career so important? And the why of what you do is more important.
Yeah,
So yeah.
it is.
So one final question I have for you, Spoorthi. So
Yeah.
if someone wants to pursue hiking or trekking or as a trek leader, so what advice do you have for them? And what would be the key to success?
Uh, for me, I don't think I'm that experienced to give advice and all, but if anybody who's interested to, be an outdoor leader or be a trek leader who wants to facilitate these kind of things, one is the love for your outdoor, the passion that really matters, and the second thing is your experience, trekking, and the third thing is the people skill. Yeah,
So
these
suppose
things.
okay. Hmm.
Yeah.
Suppose there is someone who wants to start. Okay, he's just graduated and he wants to start. He wants to get into this thing. Okay, so where are where are the places that he can apply, like India Hikes? Are there any other places, or do we need to do any internship, or does doing a particular graduate program help? So those things, if you can explain.
So educational background, it doesn't matter much, like what you have studied, what subject you have studied. Like I said, mainly what matters is your experience in the outdoors. So if you've done any course like basic mountaineering course, AMC, it would be like an add-on. But even if you haven't done, if you want to pursue this career, especially if you want to be a trek leader with India Hikes, it's better you do 1 or 2 treks with us, because you get to know India Hikes as an organization, what we believe in. It's not just the trek. There are many other aspects that we want our trekkers to take back. So it will give you a better clarity. If not a Himalayan trek, even we have lots of weekend treks as well in and around Bangalore. You can just do that just to know how the world of trekking is. And India Hikes being one of the largest trekking organization in our country, I don't think there's a better place than this. So you can do 1 or 2 treks with us, and you can apply back, or else we have a lot of internship opportunities also. Like I told, we every spring we have the summer camps, so we need a lot of interns. We can't manage 25 kids on our own, so you can apply for an internship, and you can, after that, if you really like what we are doing, then you can apply as a trek leader. A lot of people have done that, actually. Even I was one of that person, like, who joined as an intern and then became a trek leader. So that would be nice. Yeah.
So, Spurti, thank you so much for coming on the show. You gave us so many insights and so much perspective of how to choose a career and what's more important in your career.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much, and yeah.
Thank you so much, Shreyas. It was really nice talking to you for so long, after a very long time. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.